Welcome back to another episode of Flipping Tables. Today we're going to be talking about a game by one of our favorite board game developers, Thames and Kosmos. We're going to be talking about The Crew.
The Quest for Planet 9.
The Quest for Planet 9, absolutely. There's actually a story goes on in this game. But this game is a trick-taking card game, and it's fully cooperative. Think like Euchre. Basically, it's like Euchre hands that you're dealt out, but you're working together to fulfill the scenarios you're given.
Yeah, so you're given missions, basically, and those are found in the logbook, and you'll move through, I believe it's 60 scenarios, and you'll move through those scenarios in order to satisfy the mission requirements.
And so the game consists of a deck of cards that very much look like a normal deck of cards, numbers 1 through 9, and they're different suits, different colors. And just like in Euchre, you're going to get 7 cards in your hand, and you play back and forth. But it's fully cooperative, so you're still doing tricks just like you would in a Euchre game, but you're trying to fulfill a particular scenario, which is in the logbook. And at the back of the logbook, there is a complete list of all the scenarios. And if I actually had this turned the right way, I'd find them. So, for example, in the first one, you actually have to...
So we take one.
Thank you.
Yeah, so these are the task cards. So these will be dealt out, and you'll have one task, and the mission leader, who is designated with the mission leader token, will have to take the hand that contains the yellow 4 of
X's.
X's. I call them diamonds all the time.
He calls everything diamonds.
Everything diamonds.
Right.
But
so in this particular case, we're going to look here, and it's going to show us 1. The number 1 here in the logbook. The second mission, there's 2. And so on. There's different difficulties. There's more than, you might have to have 4 different hands. There's other icons, such as these ones right here, where you have to specify one particular one has to be obtained first, and then this one has to be second, for example. So you have to actually get them in order. So the 4 must be taken in the trick before the 8 does.
Yeah.
And each player will have one of those cards. So you have to work together, and you can't cheat. Like, you can't say, I have these cards in my hand.
Right. So you're allowed to share a little bit of information. That information is derived by, you can take one card out of your hand, place it down in front of you, and grab one of these astronaut tokens and indicate by placing it on the top that this is the highest card of that suit, on the bottom that this is the lowest card of that suit, or in the middle that this is the only card that you have of that suit.
That is the only piece of information you can give your opponent before the round starts.
Yeah.
It's really that simple, but it can get complicated because you really got to figure out, what cards do I play, because I know Tycko has to take the yellow 4, but I'm not sure if he has it or not. Now, this is also a 3 to 5 player game, and there is a 2-player variant,
Which uses a dummy hand.
It basically uses a dummy hand. You set up a third hand that you would then play out of in turn. Now, Tycko, I really enjoyed this game. Like, it starts out easy. You only have one card to try to
and
get.
you're feeling really good about yourself after.
Yes.
It's like, we got that in no time at all. That was the easiest thing, like 2 hands in and we've got it.
Right.
And then you get up to the higher missions and it becomes a lot more difficult. And we have both played this both as the 2-handed scenario, the 2-handed variant, as well as a 4-player game.
We did play a 4-player game, and it does get difficult. We're all trying to figure out what order do we play cards to force cards out of other people's hands so that we can let them take the trick. And that's the difficulty. You may have, you have your cards in your hand, or, and you're trying to. I know Tycko needs the 4, and I don't want to take it when it's his turn. Right. So I got to get rid of, say, all my yellows so that he can take the yellow on that trick.
And you might lead out in that particular case with that hand. You might lead out a low diamond, or not diamond. I say it all the time. Every time.
Every suit in this game is a diamond to Tycko.
Yes, so I might lead out a low. Sean may have let out the low yellow card, thinking if I've got the 4 in my hand, that means I can just grab that. Grab that right away, and we've fulfilled that part of the mission.
Exactly.
And so the idea is to complete all of the missions. They get progressively more difficult as you go through. There's some scenarios where it's like you're not allowed to use this to give any information. There's a bunch of
Each of these cards, or each of these tokens here, actually correspond to missions.
Yeah.
There could be a mission where, say, we've got these 3 cards out, but this is one. This has this chevron symbol, and this has this chevron symbol. This simply means that this card must be taken first. This card must be taken before this card.
Yeah.
So that's a bad example, but that's essentially what it means, right?
Yeah.
And if you have this symbol on one of them, it means that card must be taken last, right? So you could have a scenario like this, for example. So the 4 and the 8 can be taken in any order,
yeah.
but this must be the last card, okay? Another one could be something like this is a chevron 1, and then this one has chevron 2. Again, this card must be taken after this, but this can be taken at any time.
Yeah, so the 4 can be taken
The
first.
8 could be taken first and then the 4, but the 6 must always be taken only after the 8 is gone.
Right.
So there's a lot of complexity in how things have to be taken. But the bottom line is it is a trick-taking mechanic, just like playing Euchre. If you've played Euchre before, you know how to play this.
It's going to feel very comfortable.
And there are trump cards, and they are
Rockets.
these rockets. There's 4 rocket cards in the game, and those are trump cards. I think there's the 4, and there's the 3. So there's 4 rocket cards in the game, and those are trump. They will take anything.
Yes.
So again, you also have to take that into account, depending on how many rockets you have in your hand. If you're forced to use a rocket when you shouldn't, you could lose the round.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that is The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9, a cooperative trick-taking game from Cosmos, Thames and Cosmos. We really, really enjoyed it.
So much fun.
The 2-player variant works really, really well. And even playing with 4 players or even 5 players, it is up to 5 players. So it worked out really well. We had 4 players playing, and we really enjoyed it. It was a challenge. Once you get into the higher levels, it definitely became a challenge.
And I love what they've done with the rulebook, with the mission log, the logbook there, where you track your progress. And so you'll say, how many times did it take me to get through mission 1, and you do little check marks. Like
you check mark the book as you go through it.
So it gives you a final score. So once you finish the 50, 60 scenarios total, you get yourself a score as how long did it take you, how well did you do in getting through these missions.
So check that out at your local game store now. The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9 by Thames and Cosmos.
OMG.